So if someone wanted to lose weight, what would be the best fat for them to eat? It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we've been so brainwashed against coconut oil. In fact, the body burns it. It's like the Australian farmer. He got a whole lot of coconuts cheap, so he thought he'd fatten up his cows. Well, his cows lost fat, put on muscle, and started bounding round the paddocks. Do you say paddocks? Fields. So if you want to lose fat and put on muscle and start bounding round Bermuda's mountains, what do you eat? Coconut. Knowledge is easy to him that understands, is that right?
Hello, I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today I want to talk to you about something that many people, especially as we get older, struggle with: weight loss. Losing weight becomes more challenging with age, but understanding the right strategies can make all the difference. Did you know that nearly 70% of adults over 50 are either overweight or obese? Excess weight puts a strain on almost every part of your body, increasing the risk of conditions like diabetes, heart disease, and joint problems. But the good news is, by making a few simple changes, you can start shedding those extra pounds and improve your health. In this video, I'll be sharing some effective weight loss secrets that are not only backed by science, but also practical for your everyday life. From what to eat to when to eat, we'll cover everything you need to know to make sustainable changes that work for you. Stay with me and let's uncover the path to a healthier, lighter you. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win.
And this is what a lot of people don't realise, especially when people go on a weight loss diet and stop all the fat, yeah? Fat-free this, fat-free that, fat-free, fat-free, fat-free. And yet what are they eating? Lots of carbohydrates. Do you know fat gives the feeling of satiation or satisfaction? And the best weight loss diet is a diet that stops your hunger. And fat stops the hunger. So what's happening on this high carbohydrate diet? People have eliminated the fat and they're eating lots and lots and lots of this, not realising that that excess glucose, once we've filled up the energy cycle, we've filled up the glycogen stores, and so now the body sends it to the fat cells. And on this high carbohydrate diet, what's happening to Americans and Australians? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger. In fact, it's one of the most dangerous fats, because what the body does is it stores it in the probably areas of the body that's not used a lot, maybe the arms, the belly, the hips, the thighs, and then when that gets all filled up, then it starts to go to the internal organs, weighing them down. And in the book Wheat Belly, notice the title of the book, Wheat Belly, Dr. William Davis, he shows that sugar particularly, sugar and the hybridised wheat, and the hybridised wheat is found in most breads, cakes, cereals, pastas, pizzas. Because it gets the blood sugar level up so high, so fast, as we looked at this morning, then very quickly it's dumped as a visceral fat on the belly. And in the book Wheat Belly, I think the word wheat belly he uses on just about every page, showing this process. And another fact, another very misunderstood fact, is that glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. Now this piece of information, which is fact, is in just about every weight loss book as proof that if you want to lose weight, don't eat the fat. It's going to give you more than twice the calories. But what the people don't understand is what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? Fat. It's going to give you more than twice the units of energy compared to glucose. But If you're eating more calories than you can burn, yes, it's going to be stored.
Fat can actually play an important role in weight loss, especially because of how it helps you feel full. Unlike carbohydrates, which often cause quick spikes and then drops in blood sugar, fat provides a steady source of energy that keeps you satisfied for longer. This makes it easier to eat less overall, which is key when you're trying to lose weight. By including enough healthy fats in your diet, you're less likely to deal with constant hunger, which means you're less tempted to overeat. Healthy fats, like those from avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil, help signal your body to release hormones that tell your brain you're full. This makes it easier to manage your appetite without feeling deprived. Another advantage of fats is that they don't trigger insulin in the same way carbs do. Since insulin is linked to fat storage, having a diet lower in refined carbs and higher in healthy fats can actually help your body tap into stored fat for energy.
I was not really interested in reading Dr. Atkins' book because everyone says it's just meat, dairy, cream, butter, cheese, eggs. That's what his diet is. So I thought, well, I'm not interested in that because I don't eat that. But we had a man come and do our program. This would be maybe 18 years ago now, and he said, I know you're not going to like it, Barbara, but I do very well on the Atkins diet. And when I go off the Atkins diet, I go down. Now, every good health professional, what will they do? They will listen. So I can't argue against that. And I want to know why. Why does this man do so well on the Atkins diet? So I was intrigued. And then about that time, maybe a fortnight later or 2 weeks later, we had another guy do our program. He's 44, fit, but he had a lot of allergies. And on the second day, remember we do our juice days Monday, Tuesday? So on Tuesday, 2 o'clock, I get a call. They said, quickly, Barbara, Anton needs to speak to you. I said, what's the matter, Anton? He said, I'm not doing well. He said, I feel terrible, I'm lightheaded, I'm feeling nauseous. My body says it needs protein. I said, okay. Because what have I got to do? I've got to listen. So I made him up a protein drink. At that stage, we weren't giving protein drinks to our guests. I didn't understand the 3 phases of the liver detox at that stage. It's actually only been known probably since 2000. So I gave him a protein drink. I saw him 10 minutes later. He said, thanks, that's good. So again, my mind starts to work. Why did that man go well on the Atkins diet? Why did that man need protein? And then the next piece of information in the equation, I was staying at a friend's house and I was staying in the spare room, and when I woke up in the morning, there's the bookcase at the end of the bed, and I love reading. I'm an avid reader. So my eyes are going through, and there was one book that seemed to just jump out at me, Dr. Atkins' New Revolutionary Diet. Righto, I said, I'll look at it. Do you know, I couldn't put it down. It's a fascinating book. His research and his story is very interesting. I went out that day and I bought his book. And this is his story, Dr. Atkins. He said he was a GP, late 40s, putting on a bit of excess weight. He knew his science. He knew that carbohydrates stored as fat, so he decided to do an experiment on himself. He decided to stop all carbohydrates. And he theorised that if he stopped all carbohydrates, his body would start to live on his fat stores. So what did he eat? He chose foods that had no carbohydrate. So his diet was high in protein. Meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs, that's a lot of protein. Fat, meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs, that's a lot. But something else surprised me that you never hear about. He ate 3 cups of vegetables a day, and 1 cup had to be greens. And so there was the fibre. The weight just fell off him. He theorised right. He wasn't giving carbohydrates to his body, so, well, hardly any, a little bit in the vegetables. So his body started to live on his fat stores. The weight started to drop off him. He was never hungry because these are the 3 foods that give the feeling of satiation, satisfaction. He had lots of energy, because your liver can convert protein and fat to glucose if it needs it, and it can break down your fat stores to give you glucose. It's called gluconeogenesis, creating glucose from the fat stores. Has he found the perfect diet? Never hungry, lots of energy, weight's falling off him, so he started to put some of his patients on this. It is estimated that 11 million people were helped by his diet. His book was #1 on the New York Times best-selling book list 4 years running. This guy demands some attention.
Atkins's diet is effective for weight loss because it cuts down on carbohydrates, which helps regulate insulin levels. When you eat fewer carbs, your blood sugar stays more stable, meaning your body doesn't produce as much insulin. Since insulin is the hormone responsible for storing fat, keeping it low makes your body more likely to burn stored fat instead of adding more. This is one of the reasons people see quick results with Atkins' diet. The diet focuses on eating more protein and fat, which makes you feel fuller for longer compared to carbs. If you're full, you're less likely to overeat or snack between meals. This feeling of being satisfied makes it easier to stick to the diet without feeling deprived, which is often why many other diets fail. If you aren't always hungry, it's much easier to keep your calorie intake under control naturally. Another major benefit is that Atkins' diet encourages your body to enter ketosis, a state where your liver starts turning fat into ketones, which your body then uses for energy. When you're in ketosis, your body becomes more efficient at burning fat, both the fat you eat and the fat stored in your body. This leads to consistent weight loss, and many people experience a steady energy level because they're burning fat for fuel instead of relying on carbs that can cause energy ups and downs. Atkins' diet also includes vegetables, which add fibre and important nutrients. Eating a mix of protein, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables helps you lose fat while preserving muscle. This leads to better overall body composition. Many people find that they not only lose weight, but also feel more energetic and satisfied without the mood swings and energy crashes that come from eating too many carbs.
But what you can do superior to Atkins. You can do the plant proteins. You can do the plant fats. Dr. Atkins, on his first stage, he got people down to 20 grams of starch, carbohydrates a day. Do you know there's no need to go that low? All you need to do is greatly reduce the carbohydrates, ideally stop the wheat, eat more vegetables, eat more legumes, nuts and seeds, and you can get a similar result. Because of the results that he was getting, and by the way, his cancer patients were going into remission, people with high cholesterol were coming back to normal. Did everyone hear that? And his patients were eating meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. And what are people told to get their cholesterol levels down? They've got to stop the meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. So Atkins threw a spanner in the nutrition world's wheel, and it needed the spanner thrown into that wheel. And the only reason his patients got away with it for so long is the 3 cups of vegetables a day, which have an alkalizing effect. But the beauty of the plant proteins, it's much cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't leave an acid waste like the protein does. And when I was consulting with this man, he said to me, I believe if Dr. Atkins had read the China study, Atkins would have become a vegetarian. What an interesting comment. So you can get those results, but you can do it on a plant diet. You see, animal protein, it burns at, so let's look at protein. Animal protein, only 58% is burnt as fuel. So that's a 42% waste. That's the acid waste. And that's what Dr. Colin Campbell found in his book, The China Study. He could switch cancer cells on and off, and we looked at this briefly when we looked at cancer on the first night. Because it's an acid waste. And cancer thrives in an acid environment. We looked at that. Whereas plant protein It's a lot cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't have that acid waste. So with plant protein, you're getting up to about 80% easy is burnt as fuel. That's a big difference. So your plant protein is a superior protein.
For weight loss, choosing plant-based proteins instead of animal proteins can really help. Plant proteins don't leave behind acid waste, which means your body stays in a more balanced alkaline state. When your body isn't dealing with excess acid, it can burn fat more efficiently, and you're less likely to feel tired or inflamed, both of which can make losing weight a struggle. Fibre is another key factor, and plant-based diets are naturally high in it. Foods like beans, veggies, fruits, nuts and seeds keep you full for longer and help keep your blood sugar steady. This makes you less likely to snack or overeat. Fibre is also great for digestion and helps slow down sugar absorption, which keeps insulin levels stable. Since high insulin levels can lead to fat storage, keeping it in check makes it easier to lose weight. Legumes like lentils, beans and chickpeas are especially good for weight loss because they're packed with protein and fibre, keeping you satisfied for longer periods. By swapping out processed carbs or high-fat animal products with these kinds of foods, you end up eating fewer calories without feeling like you're missing out. Research even shows that diets rich in legumes are linked to better weight control over time. Healthy plant-based fats, like those in avocados, nuts, seeds and olive oil, are also great for weight loss. These fats help you feel full and support your heart health. Unlike processed or saturated fats, they don't pack on the pounds as easily when eaten in moderation. Healthy fats also help regulate hormones, including those that control hunger and fullness, which can help curb cravings. A plant-based diet also means you're eating more nutrient-dense foods. These foods are packed with the vitamins and minerals your body needs to keep your metabolism and energy levels running smoothly. When your body gets all the nutrients it needs, you're less likely to overeat because it's not constantly craving something it's missing. Processed foods, on the other hand, often lack nutrients, which can lead to overeating as your body tries to make up for it. But diet isn't everything.
So number 2 for weight loss, low carbohydrate. Low carb, high fibre. Generous protein and healthy fats. I gave the story this morning when I talked about diabetes of Jim, the guy who was a type 1 diabetic and got off all his medication. And do you remember the weight loss he experienced? Quite phenomenal. And it wasn't just that he was eating breakfast like a king, lunch like a queen and tea like a pauper. It wasn't just that he was on a low carbohydrate, high fibre, generous protein and healthy fat diet. It was also the fact that he began to drink more water. He was having 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And when you start drinking more water, it's also time to start having some whole salt. But it's the 4th point that I think made a dramatic effect. It all has an effect. And that was the high intensity interval training. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you inside the cell and show you why the high intensity interval training is so effective. So this is intervals of high intensity, intervals of recovery, and it's done for a cycle. And Doug McGuff, the heart doctor, he suggests 30 seconds high intensity, 90 seconds recovery for a cycle of 6. There's 15 minutes a day. Sorry, but no excuse. If you haven't got 15 minutes, start to write down how long you're on the computer, how long are you on the phone, how long are you on your iPad. How long do you spend watching television? There's one other factor, and this was the mind. And he said that he used to picture his new body. Sorry, but you can't lay back on the couch eating a high carbohydrate diet and picture your new body. But it's part of it. It's having faith. Remember, God's way is built on faith and believing that you can recover. Number 6, hormones. On Friday night, I'm going to talk about hormones and the contraceptive pill, exposure to plastics, exposure to environmental poisons causes a rise in a hormone called estrogen. And estrogen is a cell proliferator. Cell proliferator means causes massive cell growth. And when a person's hormones are out of balance, it's almost impossible to lose weight. So balancing the hormones is another aspect. For some people this is an important part, for some people it's a major part, for some people it's a minor part, for some people it's not a part.
Thank you for joining me today as we explored effective weight loss secrets. Remember, achieving your weight loss goals is a journey and every small change counts. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with others who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on health and wellness. If you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover, leave a comment below. Until next time, take care of yourself and keep moving toward a healthier you.